No, we did not. Certainly didn't.
Okay, great. We're going to get started. I'm Serena Chen. I'm the faculty director of the Berkeley Collegium. I'm just going to say a few brief remarks before we get to the presentations, which I know you're here mainly for today. I want to first start off by thanking you all on behalf of myself and the other members of the Collegium for making the time to come here today and sort of recognize and celebrate the efforts of our grant recipients, of our Narrowing the Gap Between Teaching and Research grant recipients. Before I give a little background on our grants program, for those of you who know less about it, I just wanted to thank Kathy and Paul for finally getting here, very much appreciated. As some of you know, I know many of you do know, Kathy and Paul are undertaking or spearheading an initiative that's part of the overall undergraduate initiative that's really prioritizing undergraduate discovery experiences, with the idea being that, or the hope being, that sometime in the not too distant future, having some sort of undergraduate discovery experience, such as a research experience, will be something that will be sort of widespread, something that every undergraduate will experience. And that's, of course, an idea that's really at the heart of our grants program. So there's really a lot of synergy there, and we're excited about that. I also wanted to thank Bob Burgeonow for being here. I don't know if anyone knows this. Some of you do, not all. But Bob was the person that made the Collegium in the first place. So we're delighted that he's able to see what we've been doing these last 4 or 5 years. And thank you to the rest of you, past and present, and maybe future grant recipients, for being here, and other interested people across campus. It means a lot to us that you're here. Okay, so some brief background on our grants program. Where we started was sort of at an obvious point, that as faculty here at Berkeley, we care and strive for excellence, both in research and in teaching. But through our discussions, what evolved was sort of a recognition that a critical part of our teaching ought to be, or would be really nice if a big part of our teaching was involved introducing our students to research, enabling them to see firsthand how intellectual curiosity can be translated into discovery, into expression, into deeper understanding. And through continued discussions and trying to figure out what we as a collegium really wanted to get behind, we sort of came to the realization that Berkeley is known for, perhaps most widely, as a research institution, and that our undergraduates should really get a taste of that, a firsthand taste of that, before they graduate from Berkeley. So really we wanted to more comprehensively, widely integrate teaching and research, which was how our grants program was born. The specific aim of the program, as most of you know, is to support specific projects that somehow integrate research into the Cal undergraduate academic experience. But our broader aim is to facilitate, much like this new initiative, a cultural shift on campus where everyone, faculty, students, staff, come to see undergraduate engagement in research, very broadly defined, as a given, a sort of part and parcel of what it means to graduate from Cal, to be part of the Cal experience. The first call for proposals, as just a few statistics here, was 3 years ago in the spring of 2015. That first year we received 44 proposals and received comparable numbers each year since. We were delighted that the proposals came from a broad range of disciplines and colleges. Really a diverse range of projects. We did an analysis of the different kinds of projects that people submitted. There were probably 9 different types. The projects probably fell into 9 different types of categories, including things like sort of straightforward adding a research component to an existing course. Projects focus on increasing access to a particular subgroup of our undergraduate population to some sort of undergraduate research opportunity or program, creating new infrastructure for undergraduate research opportunities. Some of you who are out there right now were interested in creating a physical laboratory, makerspace, or online virtual sort of research environment that both students during the year of the project could be using, but also that could be sustained for future generations of students. And our hope in this program was, of course, to have this positive impact, to give the students in these projects themselves a meaningful research experience, but we also had, the hope that there would be broader, perhaps more indirect impacts, such as these projects serving as proof of concept, projects that then could be scaled up or could give your colleague in your department the idea, hey, you did that with your course, hey, maybe I'll do that with mine. Sort of really generating enthusiasm about this idea of integrating teaching and research. I want to give some recognition. We have some of our first cohort grant winners here. Nick Swanson-Heisel, he is not here, but he's from the Department of Earth and Planetary Science. His project was really integrated this intensive field-based research component into an existing course he taught. He took students over spring break to a 9-day field trip to Death Valley. They generated novel research projects, hypotheses that were really generated on the spot. It wasn't something that he planned ahead of time. And the research project was something that was not just those 9 days, it was something that was integrated into the curriculum over the entire semester. Rob Rue, who's here from geography, he created a makerspace, essentially, originally made so that students could create this really fundamental, so I learned, tool for environmental research, which is the gas chromatograph. Yes, okay. I visited the lab. It's awesome. But now it's this broader makerspace. It could still make those kinds of things, but I visited and it can do all sorts of other things, this makerspace. Pat Steenland, who's here in the from the college writing program, she created a seminar from our Collegium funding that enabled undergraduates in the seminar to actually interact with and learn from people from the Owens Valley Paiute community, where they studied, you can correct me, I'm pretty sure I have this right, they studied original Paiute materials that are housed here at Cal, and really had these moving, incredible experiences where they had members of the Paiute community come here on campus. It was a full-day conference, and it's happened again this year. Really, really meaningful experience for the students and the Paiute Valley members as well. And then Oscar Dubon, but really the front person for this was Catherine Newman, who expanded an existing engineering program. It was the Summer Bridge engineering program that targets first-generation underrepresented students to sort of come in the summer before they actually start to sort of get up to speed. And what they integrated into this program as part of their Collegium project was to enable these students who often aren't able to get into a research lab because of financial barriers to actually get research experiences through their work-study placements. So it was a wonderful sort of win-win. They get to do their work study, but at the same time get research experience. So that we heard about last year, but if you're interested in any of these things, here are the names you could talk to, and I also have a document that sort of gives a summary of each of these projects. This is our most recent set of grant recipients. Celine and Sarek from Environmental Science Policy and Management are here. Their project and the rest of these projects will be starting this summer or fall, so nothing to report yet. We have Elisa, Pirocini, that's how I was going to say it, who will start this fall as well. Thank you for coming. And then Deborah McCoy, who's also here and from many different affiliations, she will also be starting this summer and fall. So we're really excited to hear about those projects and help in any way we can this coming year. But you are all here today to hear about these projects. So this is the cohort that started this past, so the summer of 2016 or the fall of 2016. So we're going to hear from Gail, from Terry, and Erin, and then Martha and Alexa in order. Okay, we'll hear about their projects, and after each of them talk for about 10 or 15 minutes, giving you details about what they did in their projects, some student impact, a flavor of what's happened so far. These were 2-year grants, so these are going to be ongoing, so they're just sort of reporting where they are now, and they're at all different stages. If there are questions, we'll have maybe 1 or 2 after each presentation, and then we'll have time at the end if people have more questions. Okay? Okay.